This is Christian Gomez with the New American Magazine, and on the program we have today with us Dr. William Lile, board-certified OBGYN with the abortion reversal medication that can stop the effects of the RU486 abortion pill. Hopefully I got that correct, Dr. Lile. Thank you for joining us on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here, and yes, you did get that correct. We're going to be discussing the fastest growing form of abortion, which is an abortion pill known as RU486. In the United States now, approximately 900,000 abortions are reported each year, and this pill RU486 is responsible for about 35% of those abortions, so about 300,000 abortions every year. It is the fastest growing form of abortion because it has the highest profit margin for the abortion industry, and it is 98% effective in taking the life of a baby up to about 10 weeks gestation.
So how exactly does this reversal pill work? Does there have to be a certain time span of hours before it would not work?
The ideal time, we have now successfully reversed over 900 abortions which were initiated with the abortion pill RU486. And what we have found from our studies and from our data is that we are successful about 70% of the time if we initiate the reversal protocol within the first 72 hours or within the first 3 days of the first taking of the medicine RU486.
So after, let's say, a woman who's pregnant takes that pill to terminate her pregnancy, takes the abortion pill that is to terminate the pregnancy, where could she go to get this reversal protocol in time to save that child?
Well, we have a network of over 500 physicians nationwide, board-certified OBGYNs nationwide, where they can go to the website Abortion Pill Reversal Network, and that will give them the toll-free number. And the toll-free number, just so you know, is 877-558-0333. So when they call this network toll-free number, they'll just give some basic information: who they are, their date of birth, when they took the medication, what medication was given to them, do they have any allergies, what is their medical history, what were they told, how far along they were in the pregnancy. And the nurse will get all that information, and it is kept confidential. Then based on where the patient lives, they will then call one of the physicians that we have trained in the abortion reversal protocol. An example would be, just recently I had a patient who lived in Destin, Florida. She was about 9 weeks pregnant, and she tried to get into an abortion clinic up in Tallahassee, which is about an hour away from Destin, and that's actually our capital as well. They were not able to get her in for 2 to 3 weeks. Well, you can only give the abortion pill up to 10 weeks. So she started calling around. She found a clinic in Jacksonville, Florida, about 5 hours away, that could provide her with the RU486. The next day she drove all the way to Jacksonville, Florida, and she took the pill, the RU486. She got back on I-10 and started to drive back. While she's driving back on I-10, she saw one of those billboards we all see where it says heartbeat at 18 days, and she paused. It kind of touched her heart, and she kept driving. And then she saw another billboard that somebody had put up that said, it's a child, not a choice. And she actually really felt convicted. She goes, what have I done? So she pulled over to a rest area, and she Googled abortion pill antidote. And the Google network took her to our website, Abortion Pill Reversal Network. So she called the 800 number. She got a hold of a nurse. She gave her information to the nurse, and she kept driving towards home. The nurse called me, gave me all the information. I got the information. I called the patient while she's still on Interstate 10.
Wow. You guys that quick.
That quick. We got the information from her, had the phone number from her home pharmacy. I called her pharmacy. Her pharmacy took all the information down. And by the time she got home and went to her home pharmacy, it had only been 7 hours since she had taken the abortion pill over in Jacksonville, Florida. She started the protocol that night. right when she got home. She started the medicine that night, took the medication the next day. The next day, we saw her in the office, my office, a week later. We did an ultrasound, and even though it has a 98% chance of taking the life of that baby, we had a heartbeat. We had her
Wow.
back in the office a week later, so now that's 2 weeks. We still had a heartbeat. She's now about 27 weeks pregnant. She is healthy, baby is perfectly healthy, but she had a 98% chance of losing this baby. But with the intervention of volunteers and people who say, no, this is the right thing to do. We've even had pharmacists who I always will offer to pay for the reversal medication. We've had pharmacists ask and say, are you trying to reverse an abortion? And I pause and I said, yes, ma'am, I am. And I'd like to pay for this with my own credit card. And we've had pharmacists in Florida and Alabama say, tell you what, I got this one. And we've had pharmacists pay for the reversal medication out of their own pocket.
Wow.
So it's just kind of how the links in the chain of how God works. Somebody put up a billboard, and people probably see those billboards and say, those billboards don't do anything. Somebody felt convicted to put up a couple of billboards. I felt an obligation to be available for the network. There's a nurse who's manning a hotline up in Columbus, Ohio. A pharmacist wants to get involved. But if anybody in that series of links in this chain had not done their job and had listened to what God was saying, you really need to do this for kingdom service, we would have lost that baby. I've successfully reversed 6 RU46 abortions right here on the Gulf Coast. We have documented over 900, and we have over 500 doctors who say, yeah, count us in. We want to help out too.
Now, has Planned Parenthood been fighting against the dissemination of the information that this even exists and that this is a viable option that women can do to save their pregnancies after they've taken this pill?
Absolutely. I mean, they don't want this out. In fact, ACOG, the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecology, actually has said, as far as the reversal protocol, that it is fake science and it is not real. We would never release any confidential information, but we have over 900 moms who would vehemently object with them and say, no, this is not fake science, this is not fake news, this is real, and I have the baby to prove it.
Can you give us a brief rundown of the science of how it works,
Sure.
in layman's terms, so to speak?
Sure. Real simple. When a woman gets pregnant, amazing things start to happen to her body. Lots of changes. And the conductor of the orchestra of the developing pregnancy, this hormone is called progesterone. Break it down. Progesterone, progestation. So it's what tells the body, hey, let's not have a menstrual cycle. We are pregnant. Congratulations. Let's support the pregnancy. The abortion pill is a very effective blocker of this hormone that is telling the body, congratulations, we're pregnant. So when a woman takes the RU46, the woman's body thinks we're no longer pregnant. Support is withdrawn from the pregnancy, and then they take a second pill 2 days later, which causes contractions. All we are doing is we are raising the levels of the progesterone. Progesterone levels drop with the abortion medication. We just supplement with progesterone. So the woman's body says, hey, we're pregnant. Then they get the RU46 and they go, I thought we were pregnant. Then we give them more progesterone. It's like, all right, it's okay. We are pregnant and we can maintain that pregnancy. ACOG and the FDA have said that the abortion pill itself, even though it's designed to take the life of a baby, 2% of the time it doesn't work. They have said it does not cause birth defects in that 2% of the time when it doesn't work. Also, the medication that we use to reverse it, we use all the time in obstetrics. So when we are successful in reversing, there's no indication that somebody has to be concerned that the baby is now going to be born with a birth defect. We don't have any evidence of that. So it's not a red light, green light, yellow light. This is a red light or green light. You're either going to be successful 70% of the time or you're not going to be successful. But you're not going to reverse an abortion and then find out that the baby has a problem either caused by the reversal medication or by the abortion pill itself.
Well, that is pretty amazing, and it's amazing how this pill, has worked to save so many lives, not just in Florida, but across the country. Now, speaking of Florida, where you are currently at, what other work are you currently involved in regards to right-to-life issues in the Florida legislature? I believe you've been working with some lawmakers on some bills.
I'm working and I helped write Representative Mike Hill's bill. It's a heartbeat bill saying that life is to be protected from the very first heartbeat in the womb until the last heartbeat at the time of natural death. I support Mike's bill and I helped him craft and write his bill. This is the fifth pro-life protection bill that we have had go into the House. The problem is that none of the bills have ever come to the floor even to be voted on. They either get stuck in committee or they never allow the representatives of the people to vote on it. Even when we have a governor who says, you get it to my desk, I will sign it, we can't even get it out of the House to go to the Senate to then to go to the governor's office. So we established a pact, and the pact has developed a petition where we are trying to get 840,000 signatures here in the state of Florida to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot in 2020. And very simply,
this would be an amendment to the Florida Constitution, correct?
An amendment to the Florida Constitution. Florida is one of the unique states where a grassroots effort from the people can get a petition drive. The petitions are certified. It has to be 8% of everybody that voted in the previous presidential election. For us, that would work out to over 800,000 people to make that 8%. It goes on the ballot. And if it gets 60% of the vote after it gets on the ballot, it is now an amendment to the Constitution where life would be protected in the state of Florida from the first heartbeat until the last heartbeat at the time of natural death, regardless of age, regardless of illness, or regardless of disability. I was the medical author for this amendment. We're working with the gentleman by the name of Mark Mink out of Gainesville, Florida, and we also had a legal advisor who was working with us intently on this as well. His name is David Gibbs. David Gibbs was our legal advisor. You might remember the name David Gibbs. He represented the parents of Terry Schiavo when they were going through that challenge with Terry, when they wanted to do everything to keep their daughter alive, and it went up all through the court system, and she was essentially allowed to die. So these aren't competing things. We have a bill going through the legislature, and we have a constitutional amendment petition drive. Mike and I worked together at the same church just this past Sunday. I support Mike's bill. Mike was helping collect petitions for us at the church. So it's kind of like the U.S. Armed Forces. They don't compete. They do things differently, but they have the same objective. Mike is a graduate from the Air Force Academy. So if Mike is coming at this from the Air Force standpoint, I'm going to come at this from either the Army or the Navy. We want to have the same goal. It's just different routes of doing the same thing, protecting the most innocent, the human lives that are in the womb.
Thank you very much. And where could those watching learn more about the abortion pill reversal, or even more about Mike Hill's bill in the Florida legislature? What are some places you would direct our viewers to go to learn more, and maybe even to help some of these initiatives get through?
Sure. You can go to YouTube first. If you look under DRLILE, I post a video about every week to YouTube. You can go to my website, which is prolifedoc.org. You can go for the amendment. It is humanlifeprotectionfl.com, and that will get you to the website for the constitutional amendment. So lots of different sources, and there's other states that have all sorts of amendments that they are trying to do. There are things going through legislature, so it's a team effort.
Okay, thank you very much. Take care, and God bless you in your efforts to save the unborn.